Hello and welcome, folks. Posmir bringing you the first match of the first NXT of my 2K universe mode here on WWE 2K15. We actually have both Usos and Alex Riley here in NXT. Over here on NXT, these Usos have been wanting to show a single competitor strength, each of them. They have the Tag Team Gold over on SmackDown, who have not had their first show yet. And Jimmy also having the Intercontinental Championship over there. These Usos are from the 2013 version that you get with the Hall of Pain DLC. There's Jimmy and Jay getting thrown around here as he get a nice kick. As he rolls over the Uso, nice elbow to the heart coming in by Alex Riley. We get a strike to the back. And another one by Uso as they're both tagging against the Uso. That is unfortunately on the ground, but a turncoat ever there was in these triple threat matches. Nice draw breaker counter there. I believe that is Jimmy with a tattoo on his chest there. As you see a nice whip coming in here. A nice hip toss. This is of course that tag team combination. And somehow Jay ended up on the mat. And get a leg drop onto the leg. I think Jay was falling down a little bit, but that looks rather awkward. Some awkward situations you get up with these triple threat matches. If we get a pinfall here, as we go only a one count as Jay kicks out. Drop kick coming in from Alex Riley, just barely able to get that off. Very little space to actually get that drop kick off in that corner. Very impressive as he kicks the leg out from under the Uso on the mat in front of us here. We'll leave that with Jimmy over there as Jay stretches himself out after being on the ground for that pin. Nice counter there by Jimmy, as now the Usos both attacking Alex Riley, deciding to work together for just a moment. These two brothers always going to end up working together, at least in some fashion. We see a big counter there by Alex Riley. Riley getting countered, and he's going to get himself put into a jawbreaker. No, jawbreaker counter as both Usos go down. This might be the chance for Alex Riley to go for that pin as he brings over Uso and actually pings him up. Double team combination almost. Actually, there's both double teams in there as you see a pinfall by Alex Riley. He only gets a one count before Jay is able to interrupt there. He attacks Jimmy. Big pickup of the head. Almost went for a DDT, but a knee to the gut will stop that. Big pickup from Alex Riley. Nice cutter. Fireman's carry, almost an F5 cutter there as we see a pin by Uso here, and Alex Riley interrupting there. That was Jay Uso and Alex Riley with a nice cutter once again. As now Uso able to counter that and get himself back up as Jimmy was trying to get a grab onto Jay Uso. Big headbutt to the back. Super kick dodged out of the way by Alex Riley. Alex Riley, this might be a big chance for you, buddy, as he gets a nice takedown to take Jimmy down to the mat. He goes for a pin, ref a bit slow, and Jay able to interrupt. Another big pickup here. It looks like he's going to go for that F5 cutter once again. As now Jay going for the pin. Actually, I believe that was Jimmy there. As you see him getting picked up now. Big super kick to the gut to Jay Uso rather. As you see them tied up over here. Alex Riley has done a lot of damage to both these Usos, but both of them still facing off against each other right here in the center of the ring. Alex Riley looking to get a shot in here as he does a nice side suplex, sending the Uso down to the mat as he gets picked up by the other Uso here. Big super kick to Alex Riley out of nowhere there as we see the Usos fighting off against each other. These two, of course, the sons of Rikishi, one of the men to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Headlock applied by Alex Riley. And a big counter there as Alex Riley gets put down on the mat. Nice air on that Samoan drop. He has won several matches with that as he goes for the pin. Alex Riley able to interrupt, however, in this opening matchup of NXT. Big strikes coming in from Alex Riley. It almost looks like Jimmy there is busted open. No, that was Jay rather as he goes for that big suplex pin. He's got a 2 count, but he is able to kick out. Moving out of that rolling strike by Jimmy Uso. Jimmy now trying to strike Alex Riley, but Riley getting countered by Jay. He gets a knee to the gut, and Jimmy dragging the other Uso to the middle of the ring. Big Samoan headbutt A lot of elevation on that as he picks him up there. Alex Riley with a nice side attack on that knee, actually, of Jey Uso as he gets picked up once again. Big scoop, slam, driver as he goes for the pin here. Uso's very dizzy. He's got a 2 count, and that is the 3. Alex Riley beats both Usos.
Here is your winner, Alex Riley.
What an incredible match. That one could have gone either way. Nobody has anything to be ashamed of in this one.
Here we have the second match of NXT. We got Rhino and Heath Slater tying right up in the center of the ring here. This is, of course, part of NXT's part of March Madness. We saw it last night on Raw. We saw a couple of the matches we got to see 2 matches on Raw. We get to see 4 here on NXT. And that's not because they need to do anything particularly faster. They will still fight up against the Raw guys later on in the tournament at the same time. However, we need to make way for next week. We'll have a series of matches to qualify opponents for the NXT Championship. This will be the major title of the brand, not quite like the WWE World Heavyweight Championship that goes across all 4 brands. The winner of this tournament will get that title shot. However, these competitors will probably want to get in on the action of the NXT title if they lose out of this particular tournament. See a big strike by Rhino to the lower back of Heath Slater. Heath Slater is one of the top seeds for this tournament in NXT, not because of his singles competitions, but because he had a long reign as tag team champion. As you see a nice hip toss coming in. That, of course, means that his tag team partner, Titus O'Neil, is also in this tag team tournament, and you'll be seeing him in the next matchup, as we may see Slater and Gator face off against each other in the second round, should both of them win. But first, he has to get through this big monster Rhino, as Rhino had an advantage for a little bit, but a counter by Heath Slater, able to turn him around and do a nice clothesline to send him down to the mat. Rhino is, of course, a classic ECW wrestler, as he has made his way back to NXT to bring him back to the WWE. He is increasing the brand awareness of NXT as one of those big names coming back from being actually famous, being top of the roster over on WWE, taking some time off, getting in shape, and coming back and making a name for himself where it counts, where those good wrestlers are here in NXT. As we see Heath Slater going to slam the face down of Rhino against that mat. As now he drags Rhino into the middle of the ring. He might go for a pin here. He's looking to aim those legs. Those legs of Rhino getting the power behind that gore. Getting targeted by Heath Slater, at least for this moment. As Rhino slowly gets up, he gets his face slammed up against the mat once again by Heath Slater. As he grabs Rhino and a nice scissor kick to put him down on the mat. And it looks like Heath Slater is going for a pin here. 1, 2. Only a 2 count there as Rhino is able to power out of that pin. Big counter by Rhino as Slater may have gone for a big move there. Slater countering that punch and now might be going for a big move of his own. Big backbreaker sending Rhino down to the mat. He might go for a pin. No, getting on top of him. A couple of big strikes to the face of Rhino. As now Rhino getting picked up by Heath Slater. Big punch to the face. Headlock applied, dragging him right to the center of the ring. And gets for a big move here. A big suplex right into the corner as he looks very tired now. That took a lot of energy out of Heath Slater. He goes for the tire pin. Rhino able to easily get that arm up. Just one arm is not going to hold down the weight of Rhino. As he whips Heath Slater around the ring now, Slater gets put against that ring. Nice hip toss by Rhino. As you see a shot to the heart. Rhino, one of the older wrestlers coming in here to NXT. Heath Slater has been around for quite some time. Nice spine buster by Rhino as he goes for a pin here. 1, 2, and 3. Not quite as Heath Slater is able to kick out there. That's a nice strike by Rhino. As Heath Slater actually able to turn that around. Doesn't quite hurt from that punch. And able to do a nice clothesline onto Rhino. Mount pinning Rhino. 1, 2, Only a 2 count as that clothesline by Heath Slater not able to do enough damage. Rhino, headlock applied as he goes for a nice cutter. Twist of fate from Heath Slater as he goes for a pin onto Rhino here. 1, 2, 3, and it's all over. Heath Slater goes on to the second round of March Madness.
Here is your winner, representing the Gate Crashers, Slater.
He gets a big victory here tonight. Love him or hate him, that was an incredible match.
Here we got Titus O'Neil and Joey Mercury facing off against each other here in the center of that ring. Nice push away there by Titus O'Neil as he gets a strike to the face and a couple more strikes. Big strike to the heart. Series of strikes. Joey finally getting countered as he had a very vicious flurry of blows out of that corner. Titus O'Neil with his tag team partner at ringside, Heath Slater, after he had a successful tag March Madness tournament victory over Rhino just earlier. Just the match prior to this, as you see a Cobra Clutch kind of combination coming in from Joey Mercury, actually with a large amount of offense in the early going of this matchup. Titus O'Neil, the strength of Slater Gator, able to counter now with a series of very large blows. Slap and a series of very quick blows by Joey Mercury, sending Titus O'Neil down to the mat. As now Joey stalks Titus O'Neil. Of course, both Jay and Jay Security have been sent down to NXT by Triple H to keep an eye on these guys. Make sure they get brought up the right way for WWE, as you see a double up handle powerbomb by Joey Mercury. As you see a pinfall right away on Titus O'Neil. 2, and only a 2 count as he just barely kicks out there. Kick into the gut by Titus O'Neil as he's able to counter that. Headlock applied, but countered by Mercury as he's able to get him down on the mat. Will he be able to go for a big maneuver here? He looks poised for it. Will Titus O'Neil not be able to see his tag team partner, Slater, in the second round of March Madness? He goes for the pin. Mercury here. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Very close, though, as we see Mercury on the offense right away, still with that very quick blows. Titus O'Neil just grabbing Mercury as he slams him down on the mat. Titus now using that power game. Mercury using his quickness as he gets whipped around the ropes. Nice sidewalk slam by Titus O'Neil to slam Joey Mercury down on the mat. As now a nice kick to the side with a lot of strength behind that. Titus O'Neil, former member of Primetime Players. We do have Darren Young here in NXT as well. To see big strike to the face and just taking Joey Mercury down onto the mat. Big counter there, sending Titus O'Neil down to the mat. But he's able to get himself right back up there as they whip around the ropes. Big knee sending Titus down to the mat. See a tie-up here in the center of the ring. Pace slowing just a little bit. Not exactly something in favor of Mercury here, as he seemed to do much better when the match was much faster paced. He came out of the gates with a lot of strikes, and then got that combination of his signature and finisher. But now he has to build up enough energy to do another signature here, and it looks like he's going for it again. That big powerbomb into the pin here. 1, 2, 3. Mercury able to win out over Titus O'Neil.
Here are your winners, Bill and Joe E. Mercury.
An emotional victory here tonight. Man, oh man, what a battle!
Here we have the third match here tonight from March Madness. Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor. These guys have faced off each other also in a tournament structure previously for the NXT title. We had Baron Corbin actually had one of his first losses that night in that tournament to Finn Balor after being attacked by Bull Dempsey during the middle of that matchup. But here they meet once again, not this time for the NXT Championship, but for a shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Baron Corbin has had one of those chances previously. He had an Elimination Chamber match that he won, which included several other NXT stars, including Finn Balor. but then Baron Corbin was not able to win the Elimination Chamber match that he was put in which Batista won that title during that night. Of course, our champion right now is Hollywood Hulk Hogan. You see Baron Corbin with that big slam sending Finn Balor halfway across the ring. Headlock applied by Balor, and another slam counter, this time by Baron Corbin. Will Corbin be able to get his revenge here tonight against Finn Balor as he looks to size up a big punch to the side of the face of Balor? That is probably a lot of damage as Balor looks very hard to get up to those ropes. The counter, however, is he's able to counter that strike. Headlock applied as Balor was not able to capitalize, but a nice trip up of the leg is able to get him in the advantage here against Baron Corbin. Grabbing the face with a strike, and a couple of strikes now from Finn Balor. Big punch to the face just gets the advantage right back to the immense strength of Baron Corbin as he slows this match down by just tossing Balor across the ring. Big boot, slamming him right down on the mat as he goes for a pin onto Finn Balor. 1, 2, and a 2 count as Finn is able to kick out there. Will he be able to have enough strength here as he gets a headlock applied? Gonna send him against the ropes here as he grabs him by the neck, puts him against those ropes, and we see a big clothesline out to the outside as now looks like Baron Corbin running against the ropes. Gonna do a suicide dive over the top rope, sending both of them actually into the barricade there as Finn Balor now knocked out down on this concrete mat here in the NXT arena, but he has to win in the middle of the ring here as Baron Corbin sends Finn Balor back into the center of the ring. Will he finish this match here? And how will he? That little taunt by Baron Corbin may cost him here. Is Finn able to get the advantage? Drop kicking him into the corner, lowering him down as you see him actually gonna choke him out with this knee to the chest, rather. I thought he was gonna go for a boot to the neck. As you see an attack on the shoulder blade of Baron Corbin from Finn Balor, as trying to reduce some of that strength, dragging Mr. Giant Suplex actually coming in from Balor, as I forgot Baron Corbin's name for just a moment. You see a big boot to the chest, and Finn actually able to get a whole lot of offense after getting suicide dived on the outside. However, you do that tense. Nice dodge out of the way from Baron Corbin with a big punch to the face. And now Corbin has to get the advantage back on his side, but Finn with a big counter to get a strike to the face. Flurry of blows, and Corbin grabbing Balor. Gonna grab him by the back and do a huge scoop slam as he goes for a comeback now as Finn Balor. Baron Corbin's able to walk away, but not able to escape this comeback maneuver here. A couple of kicks, or a couple of clotheslines, and a nice reverse kick, like a super kick to the face of Baron Corbin. And now big elbow into the heart as he goes for the pin here. 1, 2. 2 count as it looked almost like the ref actually stopped the count a bit early as Baron Corbin wasn't quite out of that pinfall predicament yet, as Baron Corbin writhing on the mat after that backbreaker, and he goes for the shoulder blade once again to weaken that tattooed arm of Baron Corbin. Nice splash rolled out of the way by Corbin as Corbin might be able to get an advantage out of that situation. Gonna whip Balor into the opposite ropes here. One of these two men will face off in the second round against the winner of our main event as he looks to go for Snake Eyes here, sending him against the ropes, running against that back rope, big boot to the face, and now a leg drop. Classic Undertaker moves out of that corner, and now a series of kicks made famous by Randy Orton, targeting each of the limbs, sending him face down, and then stomping the head against the mat. As we see another series of kicks from Baron Corbin to Finn Balor. He has used these kicks quite a few times in this matchup. He targets the head and the arms. And now he goes to the well one more time, attacking the arms and legs of Finn Balor. Balor now might have a hard time getting that finishing maneuver as he goes for the pin here onto Balor. It is a 3 count. No, it is not. Balor just barely able to kick out there. After that series of kicks to all those extremities, all those must be aching now. Big counter by Corbin, sending Balor down to the mat. You see a big kick, boot to the head, as he sends him reeling over across the ring. Will Corbin be able to finish this matchup with a big move here? He attacks the back, lower chop block, sending him down to the mat. What will Corbin do here? He goes for a pin off to that. 1, 2, 3. Not quite as Mr. Finn Balor able to kick out. He's able to slowly get up now, put up against that corner. Corbin with a lot of offense has absolutely been dominating this matchup so far. As we see a couple of mudhole stomps and a big knee to the face of Finn Balor. And he drags him around the ring now. He might go for another pin here. Stomp to the gut, another low kick to the face, sending him against the ring. And now he goes for the pin on Finn Balor. Balor must be pinned here. As you see that 3 count, and yes, Baron Corbin gets his revenge. He will go on in the March Madness tournament.
Here is your winner, Byron Corte.
Absolutely amazing.
We knew he felt he had to win this one tonight.
I mean, there's absolutely no way to underscore how big this victory is. Perhaps the biggest in his life.
And now your main event of the evening. We have a rematch from Money in the Bank 2012. We have CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. Both of these men being drafted to NXT to show how these guys, how to grapple, how to really put on a great show of technical wrestling. As both of these guys has had the WWE Universe admiring them for their absolute grace in the ring. Daniel Bryan with absolute great technical ability, and CM Punk with great all-around ability, talking, flying through the air, strikes, all of that, as they both tie up here in the center of this ring in NXT, showing the folks how it is done. As you see that armbar applied, pushing away Punk now is Bryan. He's going to go for a bigger move here as this match is now quick in the pace. Nice snap suplex by Daniel Bryan. And these guys have faced off a few times before, as we see a couple of elbows into the shoulder of Punk as Punk gets put down on the mat. CM Punk here, a former United States champion, as you see a headlock applied. We saw the United States champion Alberto Del Rio lose a match against Triple H last night on Raw, and then get called out by CM Punk here. As you see a nice head sleeper taking CM Punk down to the mat. He got that sleeper out of nowhere. Will CM Punk submit to this? Not quite, as he's able to roll out of that sleeper hold. As Bryan just got that excruciating submission attack out of nowhere. Nice pop up into that yes lock. Slash no lock. The ref twitching against the ropes. But it seems that CM Punk had the ring awareness to pull himself closely to that rope that he was very close to, but that probably did a lot of damage. He whips him against the ropes, goes for a pin there, but Punk able to kick out very quickly. That might have been a rope break there by the referee, as you see a tie-up here with Punk now countering, sending Bryan down to the mat, and now perhaps Punk will have an opportunity to build up a bit of momentum and get towards that special clothesline out of that corner into a go-to-sleep here. Big knee to the gut of Daniel Bryan as he now attacks the lower back of the technical wrestler. Bryan able to get a nice grab onto Bryan and a nice snap suplex to send him going. And Punk with a comeback maneuver here. Nice kick, and he's going to whip around Daniel Bryan now as he does a nice drop kick and another drop kick and a duck into a nice neck breaker, sending Bryan down to the mat. He runs up to that top rope, probably going to go for that huge elbow off the top rope. A dedication to Macho Man Randy Savage as he gets an elbow right into the heart of Daniel Bryan, right into the center of the ring. He's not going to go for a pin. He's going to go for go to sleep. He's calling for it here. He's got him up in that fireman's carry. He's going to put knees to faces here as he gets a big shot right into the face of Daniel Bryan. He's got to drag him against those ropes. He knows Bryan has the ring awareness to use that ropes to get out of this pin. As he goes for the pin here. 1, 2. Only a 2 count as Bryan kicks out of the go to sleep. Bryan with a counter to that kick as he was getting up. Big strike to the face, as now Bryan goes on the offensive here after kicking out of that go to sleep. He's got the back of Punk against the ropes here as he goes to put CM Punk up on the top rope. What's he thinking about here? Drop kick, sending him out to the outside. Very innovative combination. Huge splash coming in from the outside, splashing right onto the middle section of CM Punk. But he's going to whip him back to the ring. He knows he needs to win this match in the center of the ring to go on to the next round of this tournament and face Baron Corbin. That sleeper that he caught Punk with earlier, that he just got him so quickly. And Punk is tapping out to that headlock sleeper. And Bryan is your winner.
You have to like this display.
Well, I like the display, but I don't know how much trust there is in the ring.